Hey everyone, Mike here. I want to talk to you today about Lambda Function URLs, a new feature from AWS Lambda that allows Lambda functions to be invoked directly with a URL. It looks something like this. You just send a request to this generated URL, and in the background, AWS will invoke your Lambda function and take the result from that Lambda function and convert it into an HTTP response. Now, I know what you're saying. Mike, AWS has been able to do this for ages with API Gateway and with Application Load Balancer. And you'd be right. Lambda Function URLs are just a simpler way of getting the same capability for just a single Lambda function. Now, there are some other differences. For example, the URL itself, each function URL is its own domain name. That domain name is linked to a single version of the function, either specified via an alias or just to latest. That works well so you can update the function without updating the version of the URL. The URL itself looks something like this. This is generated by AWS when you create the function URL, and you can't customize it. Any part of the URL after the slash, the path part, just gets passed to the Lambda function, and you can handle it however you want. And then I think the biggest difference for this kind of small application model is it's much cheaper than deploying a separate API gateway or application load balancer if you really just have simple requirements. And I say simple because it's simple to set up, but this does support throttling through Lambda's own reserved concurrency. So you have some control there. And you can also deploy pretty advanced applications all contained within a single Lambda function. I really like this simplicity. It seems like the perfect combination to make some kind of super simple single function app. I'll have to poke around a bit more and see if its auth model supports things like origin access identities to limit access just to CloudFront. Could make a really cool kind of self-hosted blog or something like that. But that does bring up security. There are a few things you need to keep in mind. There are currently two different types of authentication modes. You can use AWS IAM auth. This is great if you're making a function URL that will be called from your own accounts. Or you can use no authentication. Then anybody will be able to make requests to your function URL. I know it sounds scary, but I think this no auth model is the more interesting use case. If you're using IAM auth, you could already invoke a function directly using the standard APIs. I know the URL kind of encapsulates things a bit better, but not a huge difference. The no auth style, though, is something really new. A great use case for it is receiving webhooks. There are a ton of apps out there that can notify you when something happens. You can get it in an email if you want a person to handle it, but webhooks are a great way to trigger code so that your computer can handle it. Different webhooks have different data and need to be authenticated in different ways. Being able to just feed that to a purpose-built Lambda function is pretty cool. But this isn't just for webhooks and machine-to-machine communication. Lambda Function URLs have built-in support for CORS headers, so you can host full endpoints for web applications as well. The function URLs support binary payloads as well, so it's easy to return images or badges that you can generate in your Lambda functions. You also get all the same capabilities of Lambda for using CloudWatch logs for debugging and monitoring applications. And you can also use AWS CloudTrail to monitor changes to your function URLs. And if you turn on data logging in CloudTrail, you can also get logs for individual calls to the function as well. I actually put together a simple demo. You can find the full code in my GitHub. The link is down below in the description. The whole thing is deployed as a small CloudFormation template, and you can see the definition of the function URL here. It's set up as a no authentication Lambda URL, so anyone can call it. This simple little demo is generating a badge with my channel's subscriber count. This is my first video ever on this channel, so if you like hearing about interesting stuff in the cloud, definitely subscribe down below and see if we can get this number up. I'll be playing around with Lambda Function URLs some more, so keep an eye out for more on that and for lots of other cloud-related topics. Thank you everyone for watching, and I'll see you next time.